Hello, my name is Anna. Welcome to Renewed Life Acres. We've upgraded a little bit. I have my cell phone on a selfie stick, so we'll see how this works. Today's video, we are going to be moving our sheep from their enclosure right here. And actually, I need to unplug their fence before I crawl over it. We're going to be showing the process of how we move their enclosure from one section to another, and I believe we're going to try doing it a different way this time. So the way that we have been doing it, we have two of these 100-foot Premier One electric netting fences, and we've just connected them together to make about a 2,500 square foot minimum place for them. We're going to be doing it differently this time. So instead of using both fences connected together, I believe we're going to set only a smaller enclosure up with one of the 100-foot fences, and then set the second one up next to it so that it's easier to move them the next 4 days whenever we do move them. Hi guys, how are you? Do you like the woods better? My husband has already mapped out where he thinks the fence should go, and he's weed whacked it a little bit. So we're gonna see what he's done for that. So our property here has some permanent fencing up already, and that is this right here behind me. It's not very well put together, but it will hold sheep in. And so what we've been doing the past 2 rotations is using part of this as part of the fencing for their enclosure. So they've had a larger area than 2,500 square feet because the electric netting over here is this side of the fence, and then this side of the fence has been the permanent fencing we have, so it gives them a much larger area. So this has been their last enclosure. It's mostly woods and then a tiny bit of space right over here that's out in the open, and then this is going to be their next section. So we're probably going to start the electric netting. We want to keep them out of our creek, which is right here. It flows, but it's not flowing very much right now. So we're probably going to put some of the fencing here so they can eat this and then continue on over there. As you can see, these plants are very overgrown. It gets even higher as you go over here. But let me show you the difference in what the sheep have not been on, which is this section right here, and what the sheep have been on. They are very good at eating down all of that stuff, just like goats would be. But they're easier to contain, which is why we wanted sheep. So as you can see, this is the section that my husband weed whacked, and then it continues this way. So we're gonna be putting our electric netting here. We've discovered that it's okay if some of the vegetation touches the bottom wires of the fencing, but obviously it's going to ground out if too much is touching it. It's a few hours later because we're trying to do this as close to night as possible so that we don't get so hot. We got the kids in the pack and play, and here we go. Since we're being realistic here on these videos, my husband is going to be watching the kids while I set up the temporary enclosure right here, and then we're going to switch while he picks up the netting. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see it, but we have the temporary enclosure set up. So it's just this little area with this old fencing that we took down from another part of the property, and 4 T-posts that we found on the property. I have their food here. It's a cup of alfalfa pellets. Here, sheep, sheep, sheep. Come on. Here, sheep, sheep, sheep. Got them pretty well trained. I think they realize what's happening every time we do this, because we don't really give them pellets unless we're moving them or there's guests over that are feeding them. Good boys. Success. They're in their little temporary enclosure, and we are going to start picking up this netting and moving it over there.
You think it's good enough?
Whew, okay, I could not film that because I still don't have a tripod set up, but we laid out the fencing all the way through there, and now I'm gonna stake it up.
Good weed whacking?
Yes. Whew. It is like 90, high 90s out, but it feels like, or maybe mid 90s, but it feels like 102 is what our weather app says. And we need to cut part of our old permanent fencing to be able to get the sheep through. Wire cutters. Here's our new fence. We put it up. Wasn't that difficult. We're gonna see if it grounds out too much. But now we're gonna go get those guys into here with this. But first, we have to cut an opening right here. This whole fence line is gonna go eventually anyway, because it is on the wrong side of the creek. So we have no problem doing this, and we're using certain sections for gardening and things later. There we go. Hey guys, you want some more food? Okay. I honestly love that sheep are so docile. They don't try to get out, because right now this little opening is open and half of this electric netting right here is gone. So if they wanted to run away, they could. But because I have this, they're gonna follow me. Here, sheep, sheep, sheep. You even gotta show them where the opening is. Come on. Coming. Okay, we're coming. Here, sheep, sheep, sheep. This is a little nerve-wracking. We've never done this before, but it's gonna work. And now they're in their new area. We just have to get it energized and get this section closed up. This is the next morning. After that last clip, the kids had been outside for about an hour, so I had to take them inside, and my husband finished getting the fence energized properly, getting them their shade shelter right there, their water, their minerals and everything. And so far they seem pretty happy. This is their last area, panning into their current area where they're gonna be for probably a little less than a week. And I think the whole process went pretty well. Each time we move the sheep, there seems to be a new hurdle, but also each time we get better at it, and hopefully eventually we'll be able to get some more fences so that it just becomes easier and easier as time goes by. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep following us on this journey, and we will see you later.